When you walk up to a ride, you're looking for things like sharp edges. You're looking for things like approaches, making sure that if I was somebody walking onto the ride, how would I approach this, and is it generally going to be safe for the average person to walk onto the ride? And then when you get up close to the ride, you're looking at first structural, right? So you're looking at the beams to make sure that the beams look stable, that there are no cracks in them. And then you're looking for the mechanical things. You're looking for anything that has a moving part. Are the cotter pins in place? Are the wheels rotating freely? Just anything that potentially could be a safety hazard at some point.
How many rides are there this year total?
That I don't know off the top of my head, but I know we have our State Fair Executive Director here today, and certainly I'm sure she is well aware of that.
There's been a few mechanical mishaps on carnival rides throughout the summer, including one up in Wisconsin. Does that kind of magnify the work that you're doing, and you have a message for people that are maybe hesitant to try rides like this?
Yeah, I think my message for people that are hesitant are absolutely everything at State Fair is safe. I think about it in terms of layers of safety, right? It really starts at home. I have two kids, they're 8 and 10. My favorite thing at State Fair is the food and the animals, but their favorite thing at State Fair are the rides. And so we spend a considerable amount of time here. I actually am taking Friday off to come down here to State Fair. But it starts with those conversations, follow the rules, be careful, be respectful, and then it really elevates to another level when we have our inspection teams on site. The State Fair is incredibly concerned about the safety of everybody who attends. They have a third-party inspection company that they hire, and then on a case-by-case basis, we even bring in the manufacturers of these rides to take a look at some of the rides, and that's the case here. We have a ride that's substantially similar to the ride that had issues up in Crandon. And the manufacturer, I believe yesterday, was on site to verify that things are being set up correctly and securely so that riders are safe throughout the fair.
How many people from your department do you have out here inspecting rides?
Today we have 5 inspectors out. We generally have about 6. One of them got a little bit ill the other day, so he's off today, but 5 today.
And then do you stay here throughout the fair and inspect throughout, or is it kind of beginning, you feel good, and then you head out?
So we do our main inspections pre-fair. We do have one person that's on call the entire time during fair, and then on a daily basis, the third-party inspectors and the State Fair staff do regular inspections.
Hey Dan, just because there's so many cameras, I'm going to ask you to repeat an answer.
Sure.
When it comes to safety, what are you looking for on these daily checks?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's about all your standard stuff. First and foremost, that could cause problems. It's about approach onto the ride. It's making sure that there are no trip hazards, making sure there are no sharp edges that could cut somebody. And then when you get up to the ride, it's really about inspecting structure, making sure you don't see cracks or instability in the structure. And then finally, it's about moving parts and mechanical parts. Are things rotating freely? Does it look like there's an opportunity for something to catch in a moving or mechanical part?
On a daily basis, how often or how many times do you guys find, I guess, red flags and say this needs to be tweaked?
It's a regular part of business, right? These rides travel thousands of miles across the country, and sometimes during transport or during takedown or install, right? Things get a little out of whack. We'll see those things. We'll flag those for the operator. Before the operator is allowed to operate, they're required to address any deficiencies that we see. And then really it's that daily inspection. Here at State Fair, we've got, like I said, the third-party inspectors who are on site all week, and it's about that visual inventory, if you will, of all of those possible touch points I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, are the ride operators basically required to heed your guys' findings? Like, say you find something, tell them to fix it, and they just ignore it. Like, can they do that?
No, absolutely not. So we'll issue our findings. I have to say the ride operators here, especially at State Fair, are very collaborative, and they want what we want, right? Having a poor safety record is not good for their business, and it's not good for the citizens of Wisconsin. So we work together to fix any deficiencies, and in the rare case that a deficiency can't be fixed immediately, right? Then they are asked to leave and tear down the ride and come back maybe another year with those things met. Well, it was funny. We were just talking about the ride behind us, the Hulk. It's brand new for State Fair this year. I was talking about how last year there was a substantially similar ride that my son rode, my 8-year-old, and so he was very brave. His older brother was not, and we put him on that ride. And I have to say he wanted very much to beat his brother, but the look of terror on his face throughout the ride was priceless. But what was even more priceless is he got off that ride, he was safe, a little bit dizzy maybe, but otherwise in good spirits, and we moved on and had a wonderful day at Fair.
Kind of similar question to what was already asked. With that ride up in northern Wisconsin, you said there's a similar one here. Are you guys going to be paying closer attention to that one?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, we've inspected it. The third-party inspectors for the State Fair have mentioned it, and the manufacturer of those rides have actually come in and they've inspected it as well. So really it's about making sure that the operator is adhering to all the requirements. I know that this version of the ride is a brand new version of the ride. It is not the one that was up in Crandon. It's new. It was manufactured, I believe, this year or just last year. It has only been at four fairs nationwide so far, but we're very confident in the safety of these rides. And quite honestly, if I wasn't confident in the safety of these rides, I wouldn't be bringing my children on Friday to have fun at State Fair.
Quick one, Dan. Maybe you already mentioned it. What's the frequency of checks imposed by the state and the third parties throughout the duration of the fair?
So a lot of our work is done sort of on the front end. So our inspectors and the third-party inspectors do a lot of safety inspections during the construction of the ride, right? We're really looking to see as they put it up, right? Because when you build things get covered, things get obscured. So we want to be here throughout that process, and our team is on site throughout that process. And then ultimately, once we're in operation, there are daily checks by the third-party inspectors as well as State Fair staff. And I think the other critical component is safety is about planning, right? Good safety is about good planning, and State Fair does an immensely good job of planning, up to and including ensuring that they have equipment on site at all times. So if there is an incident, right, they can bring people down from heights. They can get people out of tight spaces. God forbid that something happened. But Wisconsin State Fair has an incredible safety track record, and it's because of the planning that they do, and it's because of all that pre-inspection work that our team does.
Anything we're missing that you really wanted to say or hit on?
I don't think so. I hope everybody's got their antacids ready. State Fair is going to be awesome. I know I'm ready. And really looking forward to it this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it.
Let's see if we can unmic you.
Yeah, now the true test.
Yeah.